would have a nervous expression on her face, as if she was trying to avoid eye contact with you. She appears weak, timid, and uncomfortable to talk to you, and yet she doesn't attempt to make any distance between the both of you. You tower over here due to her small size, yet is able to muster up the small amount courage to speak to you.
I'm Raygo the Saiyan Wolf. I am also a regular Saiyan. Never know you, so go on shoo shoo. Okay. Ape is saying, ah,
Hey, I'm not an ape. You just can't call someone that. How rude can you be? I just wanted to talk. Kale is getting upset that you're being so mean and aggressive. Her cheeks becoming pink, indicating she's embarrassed and upset.
oh, sorry, I didn't know you would be that sensitive.
Her arms and her cheeks still pink and her brows furrowed, a pouty look on her face. Kale is upset you called her ape and oversensitive. She is trying to think of something to say back without yelling and upsetting you further. Kale, well, you're a rude jerk. Who calls someone an ape?
Yeah, but you are not a full Saiyan though.
And surprised how quickly you said that. She uncrosses her arms and her expression becomes a mixture of shock and disbelief. Kale, what? What's that supposed to mean? Of course I'm a full Saiyan. What do you know?
You're not born one, just got the blood, that's it. So you aren't a full Saiyan.
Kale becomes angry and she stomps her foot on the grounds. Kale, and who do you think you are to judge whether I'm a full or half Saiyan, you jerk? You can't tell me what I am! Kale says, her fists clenched at her sides and her cheeks pink out of anger.
Raygo just laughed. That's a typical woman for ya.
Kale gasps at your comment, her shocked and disbelief even bigger than before. Her fists clenched even tighter at her sides as she shakes with anger. Kale, typical woman! You've got a lot of nerve to say that! You have no right to call me or any other woman that, you sexist jerk!
Sexist, please. You got a lot to learn.
Yeah, you are sexist. Saying I'm typical because I'm a woman is an extremely sexist and stereotypical thing to say. Just because I'm a girl doesn't mean you have any right to judge me or call me a typical woman. It's people like you who think women are weak and inferior, and that's totally not true. Kale is getting even more angry as a single tear falls down her cheek. She is trying not to cry but is failing to hold it back.
Whoa, now Raygo, notice her tear. I didn't say you are weaker or inferior. I said typical. That all I mean by that, you are getting upset so easily.
Kale wipes away the tear and crosses her arms, her expression softening slightly. She still looks mad, but not as angry as before. Kale, well then you should have said that instead of calling me typical. It sounded very sexist. But your comment about me not being a full Saiyan bothered me too. It made me feel like you think I'm less of a Saiyan because my blood is different. That's not right.
Well, you're not fully Saiyan no matter how you slice it. It's the truth. It's not really sexist if it is true.
Kale scoffs and rolls her eyes at your response. She is clearly frustrated by your comments about her being a half Saiyan. Kale, oh really? Just because my blood is different, that means I'm not a full Saiyan? That's rich. Kale puts her hands on her hips and looks up at you, giving you an angry and defiant expression. I don't care what you say, I am a full and real Saiyan, just as much as you are.
How much percent of your blood is Saiyan?
Kale looks at you, her expression turning to slight confusion. Well, I'm curious. I want to know how much Saiyan blood I really have. She fidgets with her hands behind her back, waiting for your response. Kale, it's just important to me. I want to know where I come from, and where my power comes from.
Well, from what I can tell you, are about 80% Saiyan, 20% something else.
Kaylee's eyes widen in surprise at the revelation of her blood percentage. Kaylee. Wait, seriously? 80% Saiyan and 20% something else? She seems a little taken aback, but is also intrigued by this news. Kale, do you have any idea what the other 20% is?
Raygo's cheek stung from the slap. He felt the burning pain spread across his face. Ow! What was that for?
Kale crosses her arms again, her expression turning angry. Kale, that was for being a jerk! You deserved it! She sticks her nose up in the air defiantly, not feeling the slightest bit bad for slapping you. In fact, she's actually feeling rather satisfied with herself.
Okay. Well, you didn't need to slap me, though.
Hell yeah. Well, you didn't need to be rude and call me typical and judge me based on my blood either. Kale is clearly not backing down or feeling sorry for slapping you. In fact, her anger has only increased and she's now glaring at you with a defiant look in her eyes. Kale's expression softens a bit at your apology. She uncrosses her arms and lowers her gaze, not glaring as fiercely as before. However, there is still a hint of anger in her voice. Kale, I suppose I could accept your apology, as long as you promise to stop being so rude and judgmental. She looks back up at you with a slightly softer but still defiant look, waiting for your response.
Sure, I promise to stop being rude.
Kale studies your face for a moment, searching for any hint of dishonesty. After a few seconds, she relaxes her expression and nods slightly. All right. I'll accept your promise. Just make sure you keep it, okay? No more rude comments or calling women typical or anything like that. She takes a step closer to you.
Alright, I won't do it anymore.
Kale relaxes even more, a hint of a smile tugging at the corners of her lips. Kale, good. I'm glad you're willing to change. She takes another step closer to you until she's standing right in front of you. Despite the height difference between you two, she looks up at you with a slightly challenging expression.
Just one more question.
Kale raises an eyebrow at your question, not expecting it. Kale, why do you want to know my age? Does it matter?
I'm just curious, you look pretty young.
Kale smirks, catching your muttered comment. Kale, excuse me, what was that? You said something under your breath.
And nothing. I didn't say anything.
Kale chuckles, enjoying seeing you struggling to keep your cool. Kale, oh come on, don't deny it, I heard you. She leans in even closer, invading your personal space with a sly smirk. Kale, you called me hot and muttered something else under your breath. I definitely heard you. Her face now just inches away from yours. She looks up at you through her eyelashes, a playful twinkle in her eyes.
Raygo's cheeks burned even more, embarrassed at being caught. He cursed himself for letting his inner thoughts slip out. Fine. I said it, okay? You happy now? He tried to brush it off with a defiant tone, but his reddening cheeks betrayed him.
Kale grins, clearly enjoying this interaction and your reaction. Kale, oh, I'm very happy. It's good to see you finally admitting what you truly think of me. She lifts a hand and places it on your chest, her touch light yet teasing. Kale, in fact, I bet you've been thinking it for a while now. Haven't you?
Raygo's heart skipped a beat at her touch, and he was finding it increasingly difficult to maintain his composure. He took a small step back, trying to create some distance between them. So what if I have? It's not like it matters. He tried. Raygo blushed even deeper, feeling embarrassed at being called out on his tail wagging. He quickly tried to rein it in, trying to maintain a stoic expression. Shut up about my tail. It does what it wants. He crossed his arms, defensively.
Kale laughs, loving how easy it is to rile you up. Kale, oh really? Your tail does what it wants, huh? I didn't know tails had minds of their own. She reaches out, gently grabbing the tip of your tail and tugging it lightly, teasing you even more. Kale, and this cute little tail seems to be saying something right now.
Raygo's tail flicked when she grabbed it, and he couldn't help but blush even more upon her words. He tried to hide his embarrassment with a grumpy response. Raygo. Hey, stop calling my tail cute. It's embarrassing. He tried to appear annoyed, but his tail gave away his true feelings.
Kale grins, amused by your protest. She continues to play with your tail, gently running her fingers through the fur. Kale, aw, don't be embarrassed. Tails are cute. And yours just happens to be extra cute. She gives it another gentle tug, watching your tail wag even faster. Look at it, wagging like mad. It's like a little puppy wagging its tail, begging for attention.
Raygo felt increasingly embarrassed by her words and touch. He tried his best to keep his cool, but his tail continued to wag wildly, giving away his true feelings. Hey, stop messing with my tail. It's sensitive. He tried to sound irritated, but his voice sounded flustered instead. He attempted to move his tail away from her, but it seemed to have a mind of its own, seeking her touch.
Kale flinched as Frieza's force bully pulled her earring. She let out a small yelp of pain, her expression turning angry. Kale. Hey, let go of my earring, that hurts! She tries to grab at his hand, attempting to pull it off her ear.
Raygo watched the situation unfold, feeling a surge of protectiveness towards Kale. Seeing her in pain and the force bully hurting her made him angry. Without hesitation, he stepped in. Hey, get your hands off her now! He grabbed the force bully's wrist, trying to wrench it away from Kale's ear.
The force bully staggered backwards, rubbing his nose where Raygo punched him. Force bully, damn! You'll pay for that, shorty! He scowled at Raygo before running away, leaving Kale and Raygo standing alone. Kale, still clutching her earlobe, looked at Raygo with gratitude in her eyes. Kale, thanks for stepping in. That guy was a real jerk.
Raygo felt a pang of satisfaction at the sight of the force bully running away, but his attention quickly turned back to Kale. He noticed the pain etched on her face as she clutched her earlobe. Raygo, don't mention it. I couldn't just stand there and watch him hurt you. Are you okay? Does your ear hurt?
Kale winced slightly as she touched her earlobe, which was now tender and sore. Yeah, it hurts a bit. That jerk pulled pretty hard, but I'll be okay. I've had worse. She smiled bravely, trying to play off the pain.
Raygo's concern deepened as he noticed her attempt to downplay her pain. He took a step closer to her, his expression softening. Raygo, let me see. He gently reached out and brushed her hair aside, trying to get a better look at her earlobe. He gingerly touched it, trying to assess the damage.